My name is Jane Schaefer. I have been with LifeWave for almost 3 years now. In addition, I have an embroidery business that I run for 15 years. Single mom of two amazing boys. Tyler is 20 and Matthew will be 17. You know, uh, they're the reason why and how I started with LifeWave. They play golf competitively, and of course, with that, they constantly battle with back pain. So we went through quite a bit of Tylenols and Aleve. Well, that didn't sit well with me at all because of it known side effects. But I didn't have any other option until LifeWave. I was introduced to LifeWave a few years back, and I was probably like some of you, skeptical, not open-minded. If if I could have turned back the time, I would have changed my belief way back when. I don't know where you placed your health and wellness on your list. I placed mine right on top right here. Since I personally experienced hardship with my loved one when he fell ill, but we can't go back in time. So here I am. With that said, I'm so excited that you are here with us today to learn more about what this product can help you and your loved one.
My name is Sharyonai, and yes, I have been an independent consultant for LifeWave for 4 years. I also own my own construction company. The construction industry is so competitive that also along with that comes a lot of stress. And I thought about it after enduring stress on mostly a daily basis. It led to many severe health challenges. Just to name a few: liver infection, kidney problems, to the point where my doctor had said, "Excuse me, Mrs. Yonai, you're on your way to dialysis." And for me, it's like, put on the brakes. No, I'm not. But within a short period of time after being introduced to this amazing technology, my doctor had seen just an unbelievable improvement, a 15% increase in kidney function. My own doctor that said, "You're going to dialysis," he made the comment, "This is so unheard of." You're right, doc. A good technology to be used. And after that, after he told me that, it was unbelievable, I made it my passion for this dynamic technology, want to go out and just share it with the world. And also, I made it my mission to help educate people with this new way of thinking to better their health and wellness.
Yes, most definitely, Sharon. Thank you. We're so lucky to have you. So, well, let's see. Before we get started, we have a little housekeeping here. We like to say that we are not in medical field, and therefore we are not claiming to cure nor treating the disease. Of course, we recommend that you do the basic of a healthy living, healthy lifestyle, such as good diet, good sleep, exercise, and along with our using our patches, you'll have the optimal result.
Jane, thank you so much for the disclaimer. That is very, very important.
Yes, and today you are going to share. We're going to share with you amazing result from using the patches, and who is LifeWave and the genius behind this regenerative advanced health technology with stem cell, and how our patch work with that.
Yes, Jane, sharing this technology with family, friends, and even someone just so dear to your heart can provide them with a quality of life without the need of chemicals or drugs.
The Believe it or not, that is true. And our product, especially X39, I believe had helped thousands of people around the world. So why don't we go ahead and share those astounding experience with everyone here?
Let's get started.
Yes. And this first lady was one of our favorite. She was 93 years old here. Her daughter started to patch her for some health challenges, but the beauty benefits after just 2 months of using our X39 was so incredible that her daughter has to share this with us. And we were told that her health has improved as well. I mean, look at how young she looks, right?
That's right, Jane. And David was so taken with this testimony that he shared it with all of us at our LifeWave conference.
I remember that day, that moment really well. So this next gentleman was shared with us on our Facebook community and on also one of David's webinar. This is gentleman was 63 years old. He fell and hit his head at the corner of the table. As you can see, the severe bruising on the eyes, right? I mean, thank goodness it didn't do any damage to his eye. His wife immediately applied ice wave for pain and X39 edge you can see all over his face. But I want you to pay attention to the picture next to it. After just 17 days, you can barely see the trace of the bruises. But look closely, folks. I mean, look at the picture. He barely have any wrinkle. I mean, he looks way younger. That's so amazing. And this testimonial also was from Facebook community. This lady was involved in a car accident. I mean, look at that incision was pretty nasty, and you would think it was pretty painful. And again, look at the pictures to your right. There was barely any scar, and that's just after using X39 for 63 days. And she also reported that she didn't have to take any pain meds at all. And another testimonial here from scar reduction. This person has a thyroid surgery, and that's first picture is 4 days after the surgery with some scarring and the stitches removed. Next picture is 20 days after let's see, after start using the patches, basically X39 during the day and carnosine at night. And you can barely see that scar. I mean, I love that because I don't like anything, I don't want a big scar if I have to wear clothing or anything like that. I'll be so self-conscious. And next one is this one. I'm sure a few of us is have seen or known somebody with this problem, right? And this lady found out about X39 and said, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. So she used it overnight, and look at the 12 hours result, just 12 hours. And you can barely see the veins there. So, Char, wasn't that amazing? Now that, people have seen some of this amazing experience, they probably, you folk probably asking, well, what are these patches that we are talking about? And how does it generate or regenerate our own body stem cell?
Jane, I'm going to be honest with you. The future is now. And I was just so excited when you approached me to co-host this presentation with you. I always love to share the dynamic impact LifeWave has had on my life, both personally and professionally. The technology is so extraordinary. Believe it or not, it's years ahead of time. And it does involve nanocrystals and phototherapy, which is known as light therapy. The future of medicine is here now. As with this breakthrough in advanced health technology, we are able to amplify our own body to heal itself from inside out.
Yes, that is absolutely true. I mean, LifeWave is a health and wellness company with technology like no other. Our mission is to improve the health and wellness, beauty, and longevity of everyone we come in contact with without using any drugs, pill, or injection. As our CEO have said, we are the only phototherapy product in the world that uses the human body as its own power source. I mean, how wonderful is that? Our patented wearable patch has no side effect, and it is safe, effective, easy to use. And if you know how to put band-aid on, peel it, the backing off and slap it on, that's how easy it is. And who is the brain that created all this advanced health technology? I can say he is a genius. And we love and respect this man wholeheartedly. I wouldn't be surprised that one day he'll be honored with Nobel Prize, you know. But sure, why don't you go ahead and introduce him to everyone?
I would be delighted to introduce to everyone the gentleman, and I call the genius, who is responsible for inventing this regenerative advanced health technology. His name is David Schmidt, CEO, founder, and inventor of LifeWave. He's an amazing inventor. As my mentor once said, he is the modern day Einstein. He only invents survival equipment and what helps the world and mankind. What's pretty neat, Jane, is about 20 years ago in the year 2000, David was appointed by the Department of Defense to be part of the think tank program for the US Navy SEALs. His mission was to design a system with a natural source of energy for our military without using any drugs or stimulants. Realistically speaking, Jane, do you even think this is possible?
No, I don't think so. Oh, I didn't think so.
Well, the story of David and the Department of Defense played a huge role in my decision to use the technology with the severe health challenges I was dealing with. My decision was based on the men and women who protect my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week are using the technology, then it's good for me. Well, Jane, as we all know, David has been researching regenerative medicine for over 20 years. And this regenerative medicine is amplifying the ability of the stem cells to work more efficiently. Well, David has invented this in the form of a patch, which is non invasive and safe to use. Our focus here today, it'll be on stem cells and our X39 patch.
He is a genius, isn't he?
David is a genius, and that is how LifeWave was born. We are a California based company with our corporate offices in San Diego. We are a fast growing company in $1 trillion industry globally. We have warehouses in 10 different countries, messaging in 8 different languages, and our products are being distributed over 100 countries. And we are looking for more people to help us grow by sharing this amazing, one of a kind advanced technology. So, to our viewers, keep that in mind.
Yes, Char, thank you for that introduction. I love the fact that I can easily, or we can easily help friends and family across the world. I mean, that is so big for me. So, how does this patch technology works? Let me ask everyone a question. You recall seeing the spy movies or the war movie where they use the night vision camera to detect body movement so they can find that bad guy or whoever? Well, all you can see is that red, blue, green color running around, right? Just like the figure on the screen. Well, that is real, folks. I mean, our body emits heat in form of infrared lights. Our patches trap this light when placed on the body, and then in turn stimulate the skin, sending the wavelength to the brain, and which tap into our body natural flow of energies and the ability to heal itself. And don't forget, there is no drugs or chemical entering the body. And up to date, we have 10 different patches developed. But as Char mentioned, we will be concentrating on our X39 patch.
You know what, Jane? That is correct. But also, when you go out into the sun and the sunlight, it actually signals and triggers your own body to produce vitamin D. It's the same concept because there is no vitamin D in the sunlight.
Yes, Char, thank you for giving us that simple example of it helps to envision it that way. But Char, that is one of the reasons why our product is so unique, isn't it?
Oh, yes. LifeWave products are exclusively protected by multiple patents and backed by 80 research and clinical studies. David is known to have an enormous team of medical and scientific experts, along with independent researchers and universities that work alongside him globally. This is the only technology in the world that activates your own stem cells. So let's talk about the X39 patch. The X39 patch is a light therapy product. It stimulates your skin with light. It elevates a natural occurring peptide called GHKCU. Now, when the GHKCU binds with copper, it forms a compound called a copper peptide. Now, this is what I love because this is where the magic begins. The copper peptide resets thousands of genes within our own body to a younger and healthier state. And that copper peptide activates the stem cells in our bodies. And we begin to experience remarkable youth restoring effects. As mentioned earlier, David has many, many, many medical experts that work alongside of him. But I was fascinated with Dr. Lauren Picard because of what he discovered and the health challenges I had. He discovered your old liver cells, when exposed to GHKCU, they started to function like younger, healthier cells. So, Jane, I'm thinking, why don't we start sharing the many, many benefits of the X39 stem cell patch?
I'd be more than delighted. Just question though. Um, I'm sure everybody knows about stem cells, right? And but there's one fact that people probably don't know. Do you know that by the age of 35, you have lost over half of your stem cell activity, and by the age of 60, you will all you will lose almost all of your stem cell activities. So here's the fact too, though. Stem cells are the part of the body repairing system. So the less stem cell activity you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. Hence, you witnessed the amazing healing testimonial earlier. But here's a more benefit that we'll be covering. Do you know that some users have reported pain reduction within minutes of using? Imagine you don't have to dread waking up in the morning, getting out of bed because you're no longer, you know, you no longer have ache and pains. I mean, you just kind of jump out of bed and get your day going and looking forward to that, living your life to the fullest. I mean, that would be amazing feeling. And sure, do you know that pain med addiction is big problem among Americans? I mean, it's pretty scary. The number of how much is spent on solving this issue is incredible. Here's another benefit. People using X39 has experienced an immediate effect through elevation of antioxidant and decrease in inflammation. And what about wound healing? You have already seen some of the most dramatic testimonial on wound healing earlier, right? Again, by activating your own body stem cell, it provides your body the ability to heal itself. And that's why you saw that amazing, amazing healing property. What about just merely increasing energy and vitality? I mean, who doesn't want to have the energy like we were young, right? I mean, I certainly do. And I don't know any one of you can relate. I mean, I don't, you heard of that 3 o'clock slumps? I mean, I used to have it. It's like my body knew it's 3 o'clock and suddenly just like crash. But not anymore with X39. I didn't have to go through that anymore. So it's amazing. I can go through the whole day without that 3 o'clock slump. And to have better mental clarity, no more brain fog and forgetfulness. We have clinical data to support this, improving brain function. You know, running my own business, taking care of family, I mean, I'm everywhere from early in the morning until nighttime. So mental clarity and staying focused is so important to me. And I'm sure, Shar, you can relate.
Jane, I can. Bless my dad's soul, but my dad at the age of 95 diagnosed with the stage 7 Alzheimer's, which is all about brain fog and mental clarity. He actually forgot how to eat with a fork. I would feed him daily. And after using X39, one day he asked me while I was feeding him, "Why are you feeding me?" And I said, "I do it every day, Dad." And you know what he told me? "Put the fork down." So I did. And believe it or not, he picked up the fork and began feeding himself. It was just a priceless, amazing feeling that just ran through my body.
Yes, I can believe it. I mean, Char, when we can help our parents and our family to gain their quality of life back like that, to me, it's the best gift anyone can give. And who, I can't even express the feeling for that. But a little thing like enhanced sport performance isn't a bad thing either. This is a big bonus for me. As I have mentioned earlier, I have two boys who play golf, right, competitively. And when we start patching them, they told me they noticed a difference in their stamina and energy. This is big because I never want to see them rely on any stimulants, caffeine, or energy drinks that is so harmful for them. Now, after any type of physical performance, would you like to have faster recovery? We have one of our business partner, and you know him, Shar, who is 63 years old that ran an LA marathon, and he's upset that he doesn't get to run one this year. And he said, since X39, he didn't have to take extra day off to recover from the marathon. I mean, I heard that when you run marathon, your body kind of go into like this recovery remote for like a few days. So that was big. And lastly, improve skin appearance. What do you think of those two testimonial earlier of like reversing age big time? I mean, they were older. Imagine if you younger, what effect it would have on you. Incredible, right? But the benefit doesn't end here. I mean, recent study on our X39 have shown improvement in your heart health, your respiratory system, quality of sleep by resetting thousands of genes. I mean, all these are published in our website for everyone. So you can contact the person, invite you here for the website and read all this study. But Shar, David just announced a big news to us this week. Should we share that with our friend here?
Jane, absolutely.
Yes, Shar had mentioned to you earlier that we have over 80 patents, right? But, well, we are now adding one more patent to that. US Patent has granted a patent to our X39 and how our technology elevated the GHK and GHKCU. And all that process only took less than a year, where it would typically take up to 5 years to get anything patented. So that was amazing.
You know, Jane, when David released that statement, it was a breathtaking moment for me. I was just so happy to be part of LifeWave, and I see a dynamic future ahead of me.
Yes, most definitely. But that's not the only thing we have. So we're going to run briefly of what else we have installed for you, right?
Oh, yes, Jane, I would love to let the audience know the benefits do not just stop at X39. We have what we call our classic patches. We'll start with the energy enhancer. It increases stamina and strength. It boosts energy and endurance. We have Ice Wave that helps to reduce body pain within seconds to minutes. Silent Night enhances the quality of sleep. SP6, it balances and controls your appetite. An amazing patch to have at this time, being on lockdown due to COVID-19. It has helped to reduce my cravings.
I know you told me about that craving couple.
And we have Aeon, which helps to reduce stress and decreases inflammation. I think one day, Jane, what I'd like to do is just do a webinar on Aeon, because that's one of my favorite patches.
Same as mine.
And we also have glutathione, very, very important patch. It helps to support your immune system. And if we do not protect that immune system and face with health challenges, our bodies will not be able to fight back. And carnosine, it's the benefits of this patch. It's to repair damaged muscles. And if you've been woken up by leg cramps, you do want to get this patch. Jane, we have shared the benefits and some amazing third-party testimonials, but also you and I have personal testimonials. Would you like to share?
Most definitely. Our these patches has helped our family tremendously. And personally, I never leave home without them. And you and I know how many times those patches has come to a rescue, right?
That's right.
Clumsy me. Yeah, most definitely. So, Char, would you like to share what happened to this young man?
Oh, Jane, this is my husband. I don't, every time we post this picture, believe it or not, Jane, I just have that feeling the day that it happened. And like I say, owning your own construction company, this is it's things like this that you deal with. Well, hubby was on a job site, and all it took was for him to slip on a piece of tubing, and he went, braced himself upon his fall, and the carpenter's pencil went right through his lip. And I got a phone call. Hi, are you home? And I said, yeah. He says, could you take me to ER? And I said, sure. Click. My mind was just running with the worst things, worst thoughts. And when he got home, for people in the construction industry, he had a piece of black electrical tape holding a Band-Aid on his face, and blood was just dripping down on a towel. And I opened it up and I saw how big that gash was. So what I did was I went ahead, wiped him up, put a new Band-Aid on, and put an X39 on top of the Band-Aid. Believe it or not, it stopped the bleeding. By the time we got to the hospital, the doctors were surprised that he wasn't bleeding. So they were able to go ahead and put in 8 stitches. And you know what? The gash was so bad, even with the 8 stitches, whenever he drank anything, it would come through that hole. And I felt so sorry for him. But it was only 8 days that I patched with X39 during the day, carnosine at night, and right-hand corner picture, Jane, those stitches were removed with no scarring. And even today, he has no scar.
I know. Hence, we have happy Phil at that at the lower picture right there, smiling.
Oh, yeah.
Testimonial like that echo why we here, why we do what we do, sharing this amazing product with everyone, because it had helped our family so much. So here's my testimonial. Here's my family, my mom, and then my 2 sons, Tyler and Matthew, who I talked about earlier. But as you can see here, my mom in the left picture, 2017, she looked pretty frail, right? And I'll tell you what happened later. But her health challenge started a couple years before that when she was diagnosed with Parkinson, rheumatoid arthritis, and come along with that, dementia. But it wasn't so bad then until we almost lost her due to pneumonia earlier that year in 2017. She fought and everything was fine. She came home and she was, of course, weak because she was bedridden for a while. She stood up and lay cross, tipped over, fell, broke her shoulders and her legs. Here go again. Send her right back to the hospital for surgery. But this time we are dealing with additional problem. She was in the rehab and with pain and all this stuff. And then when she came home, she was in constant pain. She couldn't sleep. She was agitated. I mean, wouldn't you be if you couldn't sleep and then you also in pain? I mean, it's like I didn't know what to do. And she was so sensitive to pain meds. Every time she takes it, she's all lightheaded and everything else. I started to use patches for Tyler already at that time. So I said, you know what, Jane, what do you have to lose? Let's patch mom up. So with the help of my friend Julian, she came over and we start patching mom all over. And I will never forget. And 15 minutes after patching her, we can see her face start to relax, right? And we go, oh, wow. And then about 30 minutes, she needed to go to the restroom. So I went to assist her up from the wheelchair, and from the chair to the wheelchair. She didn't scream. Usually, if I touch her, she would just like scream and yell at me because she was in so much pain. At that moment, it's like, all right, Jane, you're never gonna stop patching mom. So we start patching her ever since. But you know what? The other benefit came about that I didn't realize is 2 months, a couple months later, we noticed that her dementia was kind of disappearing and her tremor didn't get worse. It's like, oh, wow, this is pretty cool. And it confirmed that suspicion when David announced the brain function study earlier this year in January. That has also had external improve the brain function. So I said, that is why, and it was just amazing feeling that my mom, look at her celebrating her birthday in 2019 right there. I mean, her face just smiling, right? Happy. And she didn't have, you can tell that she didn't have any pain. And she's just like happy living life and enjoying life with my two sons. It was amazing. So, never going to stop patching her from this point forward.
Amazing.
So, what's next, Char?
You know, Jane, I just like to let our folks know that you have seen the astonishing benefits from X39. I'm asking that you get back to the person who referred you to this webinar tonight and ask them for the 30-day risk-free trial. I also would like to ask you 2 questions to our audience. If not now, then when? If not you, then who? Do you think your body deserves to be treated well? It is time to start taking care of you. And on conclusion of our presentation this evening, leave you with a quote. Nothing happens unless you make it happen. On behalf of Jane and I, we would like to say thank you for joining us this evening.
Yes, thank you. And until next time, and don't forget to get back to the person that invited you here today. Have a good evening and good day, everyone.